The anatomy of human consciousness. Consciousness wears many masks. Sometimes it is a belief, clinging like skin. Sometimes it is memory, echoing as identity. Sometimes it is the simple breath that whispers, I am. But human consciousness rarely stays still. It loops, it protects, it remembers and imagines until reality becomes a story about reality. To understand the self is to walk through the house it built, room by room, thought by thought, until only awareness remains. In the book The Ego Tunnel, Thomas Metzinger argues that the self is a construction, not illusion in a mystical sense, but a neurological simulation the brain creates, so consciousness can navigate the world. There is no inner homunculus, no soul behind the eyes, just an experience so seamless. The system believes in its own story. In the book The Untethered Soul, Michael A. Singer invites a different kind of knowing, one that begins when the story of me is no longer clutched with fear. He speaks of the voice inside the head, not as truth, but as narration. Freedom begins not when the voice stops, but when it's no longer mistaken for the self. In the book The Master and His Emissary, Ian McGilchrist explores the divided brain, but goes far beyond biology. He maps the left and right hemispheres as two modes of being. One analytical, grasping, abstract, the other embodied, relational, alive. When the emissary left rules the master right, the world becomes a concept. But when the master leads, presence returns. In the book Why Buddhism is True, Robert Wright brings evolutionary psychology into dialogue with meditation. The human mind, he argues, was built for survival, not truth. Desire, identity, belief. These are strategies, not foundations. Through mindfulness, the illusion doesn't disappear, but it becomes transparent. In the book Being You, Anil Seth explores consciousness as a controlled hallucination. The brain doesn't perceive the world as it is. It predicts, corrects, imagines. Even the sense of I is a model built from bodily signals and memory. But this doesn't make it meaningless. It makes it precious. A dream we learn to lucidly walk within. So here's what this constellation reveals. Human consciousness is not one thing. It is a mosaic, a story made of sensation, belief, memory, emotion, imagination, and the claim, I am this. But that this is never stable. It changes with every thought, every context, every reflection. What holds it all together is not identity, but awareness itself. And maybe we begin to ask ourselves, who is the one watching the mind think? Is the self I defend today the same one I'll be tomorrow? What beliefs feel like truth but were inherited, not chosen? Am I living, or narrating my life to myself? If the I is a construction, what is behind the builder? The anatomy of consciousness is not a map to follow. It is a veil to be lifted. Not to destroy the self, but to remember it was never the whole.